When my kids were teenagers, they lost 3 of their grandparents in the span of 2 years. And it was a stressful time for our family, filled with a lot of anxiety and grief, and it was really tough to get through. At that same time, Rick and Abby Langenheim were youth sponsors in the church. And unbeknownst to me, Rick Langenheim was just periodically checking in with my son just to make sure that he was coping with all the family dynamics and the sadness and the grief. And I didn't even know this was happening for the longest time. But when I found out, I thought, wow, that's something that my family would do for me. That's the kind of thing one of my sisters would have done. And I felt like I was a member of the family, and I really felt like I belonged.
We were looking for a new church family, and we decided to just Google Christian church and go down the list till we found one that we liked. And we went to two others before this one on our Sunday list and fell in love.
Well, Mark was able to incorporate the Indianapolis Colts into his sermon on our very first day, which helped us to know that this is a place that incorporates real life with church life also. And that was something we were really looking for and being able to relate.
The toddler aspect of church can be a little challenging, but our daughter Presley is 2.5, and when we first came, she was very clingy to us and didn't want to let go. And I honestly believe that was probably the hardest part of finding a new church home, was making sure that she had a good fit. But there were so many other kids here that were close to her age, and such great caregivers and such great families, and they really made her feel welcome too.
We want her to be able to grow in a church and not have, okay, well, here's the infants, and then we have a couple of teenagers over here too, and that's it. We want her to be able to grow with the church.
Yeah, and there's so many kids that are around her same ages that they will be able to grow with each other and learn together and experience things together. It's just a really good environment for her.
When my wife Megan and I joined Harvard Avenue last September, we felt one of the greatest qualities about the church was the welcomeness and really feeling loved when you walked in the door. After being here as a new member for several months, I found myself walking into church one Sunday and saw a young family who didn't really know where they were. So I quickly went over and introduced myself and welcomed them to the church, and before I know it, I was showing them into the service and walking them over to Sunday school and telling them all about the expansion and all the great things we were doing with the church. And I really feel like I knew when I felt the openness and welcomeness of the church and wanting to share that love with another family. That's what I really love about Harvard Avenue is feeling loved and being loved. And as a new member, I felt that it was contagious finally with me to share that with somebody who was new to our place.
Well, hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone.
First Sunday was right before the Christmas program, and I've been thinking about this, what it was like being here the first time. It's kind of like when you move away from home and you come back to a home for a holiday or something. And it just felt like we were coming home. Everybody was friendly, they were glad to see us.
All of the staff is wonderful, and I think that Mark and Courtney both have a special way of presenting the message, and I think that means a lot. I think it's good for all of our family.
I would tell people, and I have been telling people, that, you know, it's just, you'll know when you get here.
Be loved.
Be loved.
Be loved.